It's sort of like Clapton wrote a really bad James Taylor song. Stop.
It's like Clapton wrote a bad James Taylor song of James Taylor writing a bad Clapton song.
Yeah.
What does sound like that song?
How sweet it is to be in love by
Clapton's
you.
remake of How Sweet It Is. Except that song's
God
good.
damn it, Clapton.
What did you cucks do to him?
Why'd you have to go and do it again?
You son of a bitch.
Just stay out of the news for a little bit. Just stay out. It's okay. I don't know. It's okay if the song is gooder. We need gooder songs. I don't even mind parts of it. It's close.
It's almost there.
It's like, this is gotta stop. It's almost a little bit of a hook. Almost.
No.
But then, so we're talking today just a little bit about protest songs and artists and when should they stop? And should they just shut?
Before this. Wherever that point was, that's questionable, but it was in the past.
I mean, yeah, because like we get into our own personal politics, which we don't really have because we're not smart enough to. Like, you know, this could go down all sorts of different rabbit holes. It could. Like you and I could get into arm wrestling, battling. It usually gets into like naked oil wrestling.
Sometimes we just lather up, go out in the alley, out back, and have at it. That's how we settle our differences here and just have a good time.
Uncle. I said ankle, uncle. No, it's this song came out. So this song's being like sort of tabbed as like the anti-lockdown, anti-vax song, and the video's a little bit, you know, kind of on that line too. It's your prerogative, I guess, right? You've made it to God status. You can do whatever you want.
Do what you want to do,
but just don't. Just please don't, because like we are Clapton lovers. Like I worship at the church.
Well, that is, yes, we do. Every morning, we come in.
Oh, Domino's.
If you don't,
Spiritus,
you can't even come in if you don't do that every morning. It's crazy.
Testicles, wallet, watch, yum, and then that's just what we do every morning. We were talking about the Stones. God, man, they just do it right, and they just
just go out and play there.
Because like
do it.
And we're talking like they've been doing this for decades, for like I think Eternia now. Eternia? Is that a place or a time? I don't even know. Eternia.
What is Eternia? Where's that from?
Is that Castle Grayskull and all that stuff?
Masters of the Universe.
I started watching the
He-Man.
The cartoon, not that one, but the one for the giant mech suits. I just went blank. Pacific Rim, the cartoon.
No,
Pacific Rim Black.
Was it good?
It was good. The first episode was good. That's all I've seen so far. Anyway, protest music. Let's go back to like really great protest music. Before we do that, we were getting like, we were looking at the forums, we were talking in the shop, and it's like, you don't need to be making these protest songs when you are of this age in a strange way.
It's probably true, you know?
No, just bear with me for a bit. You're like, hey, I'm that old. I can just bear with me. Because and we've heard this too, like boomers don't need to be making these protest songs. Stop it's sort of like stop doing the boomer thing or like the anti-boomer or but go back to the 60s. The boomers made all the best music.
Absolutely the best music.
It comes back to you, hands down.
Not even a discussion.
I like the new music today. Like, I'll listen to some Kid Leroy, but I know that stuff is crap.
But it's not as good.
It's trash can.
It is objectively not
It's bubble gum in my ears, but I like it. It's fun, man. I'm listening to Peaches by Bieber. Like, this is a cool song. Sweet. This will be forgotten next week when the next one comes out. Does it stand the test of time? 0% chance of that. It's okay, but I enjoy it like bubblegum. Like Louie. Oh, yeah, there's some bubblegum from the 60s stuff, but that's
a little bit. Spit it out. Hey.
Anyway, the Vietnam War had a soundtrack.
Yes.
It has the best protests, and we were in a time of serious protests.
Yeah, man.
We had civil rights going on, some of the most insane, like, racist laws on the books. And you had, like, James Brown playing a sold-out crowd, a bunch of white cats, and you can't go have food at the diner next door to the venue you play at.
Insanity.
You had the draft going on, which is like, taking all of our young men to the war machine that none of them wanted to go. And then you had this thing, women's rights. It was not at all a thing. It was, hey, it's changing.
There it goes.
The country's transforming. They're burning the bras. Like, God, would love to have been alive at that time.
It's a golden era.
I mean, for different reasons. Like, oh my God, bras are gone. This is fantastic.
Freedom.
Woo! No, but like the best music, right?
I mean, I'm sure someone could argue it out there, but I'm not sure how you would do it.
Like, no, it was like mid '93 or something was the. It's just like, it's as far as like, there's been no other time where like an actual point of time got a soundtrack for a conflict. a military conflict. We have stuff going on, like there'll be songs go for this, boots on the ground or something like that.
Right.
But it ain't the same. You don't
Different thing. Yeah.
The Stones. I mean, we don't think of the Stones as a protest band, but like they have some of the best music. And Bob Dylan protest everything.
Yes.
But Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, you have Buffalo Springfield, and all these, the Byrds. But I don't want to hear Buffalo Springfield's stuff on Fox News now, like the new stuff that they've been doing.
Probably not, no.
It's not the same. They've all gotten older, they've changed. It's fine, but like you're passionate.
Despite what you think about their views, yeah, that's what it is. The fire's gone, right?
Well, when you,
it's I mean, like the only thing I think it's cool. The Clapton does not give a rat's behind. Well, he's gonna put out what do you want? I mean,
and I respect that in some ways, but then I'm also like, maybe like his nephew should have been watching out for him. Like sometimes Granddaddy just says some crazy stuff. And if Granddaddy had a tape recorder and put it out on the internet, you don't need to let that happen sometimes.
Well, and here's
I'm not saying this
right.
is that craziest stuff. That's not the point. It's just not good enough.
That's right.
It's not good enough.
Well, and I think hear me out.
And what are you protesting anyway?
Hear me out. In the 60s, right, the young people with the fire, they were pretty much opposed to like the man, what was happening.
Yes.
There was something to be angry about, right? And it was, we can pretty much all look back and agree they were right, obviously. Like, we are better off for the things they protested,
Someone's going to say I disagree.
Absolutely not. I'm sure they will.
I'm okay.
But now, most of the young the artists who are hip and progressive and cool are kind of lined up with the prevailing system. Good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not saying anything.
No, I mean like
I'm just saying they are, right? So, where it takes an old 80-year-old guy who's protesting because he doesn't like what's going on. But you're probably not getting Billie Eilish writing protest songs against,
well,
the prevailing wisdom.
So what you're kind of saying is like, the young, the protests, like all the groups that are protesting, they kind of won.
Yeah.
And like, so like society, the entire like, media side of society and anything in social media is pretty much on that side right now. So, and even like the labels and the major corporations, they all bend to the sort of powers that be in that respect.
There you go.
If they don't, the fact that like during like the heat of like the protests and everything, like last year when like Coca-Cola and Pepsi and stuff were putting out like commercials like lined up, these huge corporate mega structures, and then they're getting some slap back from it too, because like, wait a minute, but you're bad in this way, and like, oh crap, my bad. It was that one with the Jenner girl, that model, that it was a Pepsi ad too. Do you remember seeing that one?
Vaguely.
Like, I stand with you. It was like the George Floyd stuff. It was just bad. It was awesomely bad. I love when corporations just goof up, but they're trying.
I guess
the evil corporations try.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like our Amazon. We have a heart. It's not. It's,
sure they do.
You have our hearts.
Unless you're working in their warehouse.
I hear a lot of people like it too.
Sure they do.
Just don't take a break.
I like to pee in bottles sometimes too.
Whatever. Get the job done.
Whatever.
That's how we are here at Casino Guitars. Plenty of bottles laying around. It's tricky because because we love Clapton.
Yes.
And I love Buffalo Springfield back in the day. But I still love Clapton's playing is still godly. And
yes.
His guitar work on this ain't bad either. I'll give him that.
It's really not.
It's kind of has that John Mayer Slow Train type sort of like sob rock vibe.
Yeah.
A little bit?
Kind of. Not really.
I mean,
it's we were saying it's sort of like he wrote a bad James Taylor song, but copying James Taylor writing a bad Eric Clapton song. It's like it's weird. Okay. It's Inception.
I know the inception of this tune didn't come great. But it's protest songs are hard to write when you're an old man.
Yes.
Or an old woman.
Right.
It is meant for people that don't have mortgages usually.
Yes.
Do not have grandchildren. Maybe children. This is when the best, because you just don't know better, and you're writing about all the things that you think you can do to fix the world, and that's what we want. We need that to change the world too. I think music is a great barometer for your life to help you want to make change and social change and make things better. And that's the job of the artist. I had this big discussion with everybody in the shop. We were having this big thing about artists shouldn't, I don't care what this artist says, or people come to the shop and they don't have a right to say, I do think they have a right. It's their job, is they have a platform to say things No, you need to be an educated listener.
Yes.
You realize this guy might be stupid and off his rocks, but they have a platform. If there's causes they believe firmly in, let them say it. That's awesome. If you don't want to hear it, don't listen to it. Don't buy their music. You know?
I tell my kids in lessons all the time, music, the point of it is to make you feel a certain way. Do you know what I mean? And when you're protesting something, there's supposed to be a rawness there. That's what you're supposed to connect with and feel. That's why so many of these artists, I think, have so much pull, because you connect with the sound of it on this visceral way, and you're open to the message. So when you get an old guy and, you know, the song, na, 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 you know, like I should be shagging somewhere on a beach or something, you know.
I just had a discussion about Shag. Now, I'm gonna really upset some people now. I was talking about, because Shag came on like 102.5, I was on our local radio station, which is a fine channel, but they're playing Shag on Sunday afternoon, like, and I was like, God, Shag. I was getting so upset, and like my kids are like, why? It's like, cause like this is what they took R&B, great black music, and they took the black out of it.
They ruined
it. That's what Shag is, and people are like, that's not what it is. I'm like, my mom was a Shag dancer too, so like, I'm sorry, I'm dissing my mom a little bit, but that's the whitest stuff you can ever get. And it's like a doo-wop, a stew-doo, a scooby-doo-doo-doo. It's like, where's the horns? There's the horns. It's been put in this little swing beat, and it just sounds just stop it.
I remember I have some British friends where the word shag has much different connotation.
Oh yes, it does.
And I remember them coming to visit us.
The carpet, right?
And we're standing around, and Christy, like my wife, is telling them that we took shag lessons right before we got married. And they're like, and we're like, yeah, everyone does it here because we were in Charleston.
Well, normally it's just with my family.
You don't just know how to do it, you got to take lessons. And I was just like, yes, this is awesome.
There's an old Clint Eastwood movie where he takes the young kid out, and it's like in the 20s or 30s or something. He's an old country singer. It's a great movie. I remember loving it. It's probably bad now, but he takes the kid out to go see a hooker. Because, like, you don't know how to sleep with women back in the day.
What is that movie?
That was a great movie. I remember that. That was like the age of that kid when I watched the movie. I was like,
yes.
I was like, my daddy has not done this.
I watched that movie. I love
that movie. Yeah. But back to protest bands. Let's even go back to the 90s. That proper protest bands. You got Rage Against the Machine. Now. Well, I'm thinking of Rage. Like when that song, like blank, I won't do what you tell. Like all that's like I'm singing that song with all my kids in the car. Yes, I'm a bad parent, but that song comes on, you don't change it. It's a great song.
No, it's awesome.
And like my kids are going like jamming out. We're turning it all the way up. My wife's kind of like horrified at this moment, but
see, that proves my point. 90s, Rage Against the Machine.
And you were saying Nirvana,
but now, what if the machine's kind of right, guys? I feel like that's sort of, you know what I mean? Like it's not the same.
The machine's in step with them now.
That's what I'm saying.
In a way, it's sort of, I agree.
It has ruined our protest music. We need things to be worse.
Well, no, it's just like, I mean, we had some like things have gotten too good. Maybe there's still lots of problems out there. We're not saying it's all perfect, but
don't worry. I feel like we might be in a downward spiral. It's fine.
I mean,
things are going great. What could go wrong? It's been a great 2 past years. Yeah.
How much does it count? I was filling up my gas the other day. Like, you can't blame the administration on that. I'm like, sure.
I've been telling you, I'm probably gonna have to quit casino soon because I can't afford to drive.
You can't afford to drive here because I know. I was thinking like in town here though, town is small enough we could actually all get along on bikes. If it's closed off the roads, like it's 2.5 mile ride to like Walmart.
Oh, okay.
We could all do that. That's not that hard.
I'm just gonna have to move my family to the guitar shop.
I will find you. There's a couch behind the camera.
We could probably all fit on that.
So I've seen Derek there a few times sleeping.
I've seen some folks there sleeping.
Yes, I mean that's just. We were just rambling on this. Like, I want to hear what you guys think too, because I find it fascinating.
It is fascinating.
I love the protest music eras of the great protest music eras.
Yes.
But I want it to be the young people doing it usually. Yeah. The young people that are now old did the best ever, and I thank them. I give them hats off. Their time to do it now is probably over.
Probably.
It's they need to pass that torch.
So, big question for you. Does this hurt Eric Clapton's legacy in the long run? Will it be a footnote? Will it be forgotten?
I mean, this is radical idea. I don't think so.
I don't really think so either.
I think that Derek says it's over.
But I think he dies. This sort of goes away, and we remember. Oh, it's Cream. Derek and the Dominoes.
Yeah. I love John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. Like lay down silently.
Remember the Blind Faith? Blind Faith was awesome.
I mean, in all slow hands time, like Journeyman, one of the greatest '90s records ever.
Just need to cut it off right there.
even like Riding with the King was cute.
I'm okay with that. It was fun.
It was cute. That was a cute little record. It's like reading like, I love you to the moon and back.
Do you remember the picture of them? We should recreate the picture of them in the car.
Yes, definitely.
Where Clapton's got it, and they're like,
yep,
yeah.
But can we do it can we do it without the suits on?
Yeah.
Do like imagine like Bam Margera and like Johnny Knoxville style.
Could we wear our jorts?
Yes.
Yeah.
I almost wore jorts to a classical music concert, but my wife and her friends didn't let me.
And instead of an awesome like old Cadillac, we could do it in Derek's convertible. So I'll be sort of squished.
You would definitely squish.
I'll be like,
okay,
that's what we're doing today.
Now it is.
Now we know what we're doing today.
That's it. That's all I got. Take us home, Johnny.
So there you go. Let us know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you have not already. Click that bell. By the way, thanks so much for coming over and subscribing to my channel. A bunch of you guys did this weekend after Baxter mentioned it. And Baxter's never actually watched my channel, so it was a blind recommendation. Good stuff. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
Sayonara.